You touched on the fact that we've lost Bob Saget, Gilbert Gottfried, Norm Macdonald, all in a relatively short period of time.
Yeah.
It almost feels like a conspiracy. Yeah. I mean, these really, really uniquely talented people.
You were wonderful at the Norm tribute that the Netflix festival had. That was great.
Oh, thanks. I
hosted that memorial. It was a really special afternoon.
It was, but it does. I've been thinking about it lately because I knew Norm better. I think I knew Gilbert. Gilbert used to do tons of bits for us over the years, and what I remember about Gilbert was he was the most. The difference between backstage Gilbert and on-air Gilbert was the largest difference I think I've seen in a performer. He was so quiet. He just wanted to take food from the craft services table, put it in his pockets and get it home to his rent-controlled apartment. That's what he mostly wanted to do.
So odd.
But he was so, I
loved him.
But he's so sweet,
him.
And he was one of the first, when I first got out of school and was in New York, I went to a comedy club, and I barely knew who he was, and the crowd was, they said, ladies and gentlemen, Gilbert Gottfried, and he came out on stage and he went, thank you, please, no, thank you, please, it's too much, sit, thank you. And then he kept doing that for maybe 11 minutes. And people at my table were getting, I didn't know them, I was just sitting in, but people at my table were getting mad. They were getting mad. And then there's silence, and he's going, I beg of you, please, it's too much. How can I reciprocate? And he kept going, and I was dying. My jaw fell off. I was crying. And then, of course, he got the crowd back again, but I thought, that the balls on that guy to do that.
He was one of a kind. Talk about fearless. I spoke at his funeral, and one thing that I said that day that, he did this joke on my Netflix Bumping Mike special about skull fucking his dead grandma. So now I'm at his funeral.
That old chestnut.
Now I'm at his funeral, and I'm looking at his wife, and he has kids. A 13-year-old and a 15-year-old, and he had this whole other side to him.
Yeah.
He was a great dad, and I love his kids. I took his son to see Billy Crystal's amazing new musical the other day, and I know that both sides of Gilbert. So here I am at his funeral, and I'm talking about how Gilbert's comedy is fearless and subversive, but yet he was so lovable, he could get us to laugh at a joke about skull fucking a dead person. Then I looked at his coffin and said, not so funny now, huh, Gilbert?
How'd that go over?
Well, we buried him in a soundproof coffin just in case, because he was very loud. And a wonderful, wonderful person, a unique person, a one-of-a-kind type of individual, and he will be missed.